British basketball wives star British Williams sat down with Carlos King on the Reality with the King podcast to talk about her 4-year prison sentence. Take a look.
I'm one of those people where I'm okay with saying that I was wrong or I made a mistake, okay? But I want my consequence to match my crime. That's all. Don't overly sentence me because of who I am and because you feel like I should be held to a higher standard, because the criminal system is not made for that. The criminal system is supposed to be blind, where you're basing things off of what you see on paperwork, what you see the person did, what you see if the person had a history of doing this, if the person has done this before.
All right, Q, what do you think about this?
Accountability is not British's friend. Accountability is just not her friend. Even her own attorney was fed up with her ass and said that she got what she got because she would not listen to him. All right. British, it wasn't the legal system that took into account the little bit of celebrity that you had or overinflated your celebrity. It was you yourself, sweetheart, who overinflated the amount of celebrity that you had. And you went out and created and did crimes, in my opinion, to relieve pressure that did not even exist. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but British Williams, you were never fab like that. You were never that girl like that. Yes, you were on Basketball Wives. Yes, you were recognizable to a few people. And yes, you probably felt like somebody in St. Louis or East St. Louis where you were from, but nobody was truly checking for you like that. For you to have to go out and commit crimes in order to keep up with the Joneses, quiet as it's kept, and I'm not being funny here. Quentin Antoine Funky Dineva Latham is probably more recognizable in the Black community and pop culture than you are, my love. All right. And then you want to sit up and pretend like all you were doing was you got a CPN number and everybody gets CPNs, which is the truth. I got 2 of them, quiet as it's kept, but I was doing legitimate business on mine. You got CPN numbers and was doing fraud. Okay, you were doing fraud. Don't downplay it. Even after your ass got sentenced to 4 years in prison, you are still sitting up here in our damn faces trying to act like you did nothing. Then Carlos asked you what a CPN number was, and you was like, I don't even really know, but you knew what it was when your ass was spending money that didn't belong to you, that you obtained fraudulently. So no, your disposition, even down to this podcast, I can only imagine what that judge saw. He didn't judge you because of Basketball Wives, baby girl. You're nobody's Evelyn Lozada. You're nobody's Jackie Christie. He judged you because you refused to accept accountability, and even to this day, you have not shown any remorse. And that is why your ass is going to sit in jail. The only nice thing that I do have to say about you, I know your attorneys or your legal team put a petition in for you to delay your sentence past Christmas so you can spend one last Christmas with your daughter. In all honesty, the human side of me as a Black man, I hope that they do grant that, because Christmas is only 2 weeks away. I hope they do defer that for the sake of your daughter. But you got everything that you deserve, and it looks as if you still have not learned your lesson. And I'm here to tell you, baby girl, if you don't learn it, the universe has a way of making sure you do. You're going to pay on the front end or the back end, but you're going to pay. And if you pay on the back end, it normally comes with penalties and interest.
Well, all right. Well, you said a whole lot. I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to say this. If you feel like you're being targeted because of your fame, I will say that's also a good reason to be extra cautious in these streets because of the perceived fame or the fame that you do have. You are under the spotlight a little bit more to kind of dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because people will actually love to see the fall of people that they recognize from television. Al, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, if you do the crime, you have to pay the time. And Q was right. if you watch that entire interview, you see why her attorney was fed up with her. She's just, her mind is victim, 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 when she was actually one that victimized, victimized, victimized. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't like seeing mothers with young kids going to prison. But in this case, this is one that I'm like, maybe she needs to learn that lesson. And if I want to find the positive of all of this, maybe the fact that she sat down with Carlos King, who is a reality star casting person, creates reality shows. Maybe when she gets out of prison, he'll have a job for her when she gets out.
British also revealed that she was dealing with a bad gambling problem and would have to have reconsidered her crimes if she had known more about the consequences. Let's go to the soulmates. Last King says she's trying to keep up with a lifestyle we don't even care that she has. And Jacqueline said she got famous for laying it low and spreading it wide. Sunny Lovin said stealing from the system is never good, sweetheart. And Abby B said you're a repeat offender. The judge probably used a sentencing guideline to come down heavy on you. And
hold on, but no, man, Claudia, before we move on, even the last thing she said is still evading accountability. Paraphrasing here, basically, I would have moved different with my crimes had I known the consequences, which says to me, you still would have done them. You still had a predisposition to doing them. Just you would have did a little different, or you would have did a little less of it had you known you could have went to jail, which means you got criminal DNA down to your bone marrow. Okay. What do I tell the people all the time, Brittish? You should have called me, girl. You hit the lick. One time. You hit it one time. Then you leave it alone. You kept hitting it, and now you're going to prison.